Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hi, it's Shiloh here. If this is your first time, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and also comment something that stands out to you in today's video. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for tuning in here every Sunday and every single week. I love you guys so much. Let's get right into today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys helpful tips that did help me get my grades up from getting E's and B's and C. I didn't even get B. I was getting C and E, you guys. Now I'm going to share with you guys how I was able to graduate from getting C, D, E to basically having A's on all my courses. And yeah, hi, welcome. I don't know, I'm so nervous. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to show you guys what my grades used to look like, I think 2 semesters ago, to what it looks like currently right now. And when I was in my third year, second year, and first year, I was very unserious. I'm being honest, I'm bearing out my soul with you guys here on this channel. I was seriously unserious. And I think when I was in 5th semester, I told myself, like, you have to get your things together. You have to pack it up, whatever unseriousness you have, put it in the dumpster fire, and then start working towards an achievable goal, something that is more profitable for you in the future. And to be honest with you, a lot of people will tell you, you're a medical student, you're in med school, so your grades don't really matter that much, because at the end of the day, you're not getting first class, you're not getting second class honors, you're not being graded that way. But in my humble opinion, they matter, because at the end of the day, not everybody that go through this medical school route end up becoming doctors. A lot of people use their degrees and they go on to maybe do masters or something else in the future. So if you know you're not going to go through the doctor route, your grades still matter, because at the end of the day, to be able to get a master's, you can't use 1 point something GPA to say you're going to get a master's. There are certain universities or master courses that need you to have not less than 2.75 as your overall GPA when you're graduating. So I do believe that your grades still matter 100%, no matter what anyone's going to tell you. Those things are really, really important. At the beginning of the semester this year, when the semester started, I told myself I needed to get an all A grade. I genuinely set that goal. I was like, this semester I'm getting all A. I really don't care how I'm going to do it or how I'm going to manifest that, but through hard work, I'm going to make sure I'm going to put in the work to make sure I get what it is I actually want and how I'm going to get it. And I was genuinely very unsure at the beginning of the semester, but looking back to how the semester has gone, and I just have next week left of the semester, I 100% believe I'm going to get all A's. So far, I've had like 5 rotations, and all the rotations I've had my exams, my presentation, quizzes, every single thing. I have all A's in all of them, and I'm currently I'm currently on my last rotation, which is orthopedics and traumatology, and I'm on the way to getting an A as well, because I'm actively attending my classes and studying. So, and also last semester I was able to do the same thing, and hopefully till I graduate, this is what I'm going to do for myself, and this is the goal I tend to achieve till I graduate, to have all A's throughout all my semesters till I graduate. So I'm going to share with you guys how I was able to help myself move from a sad and depressing grade to getting all A's, and I'm actually happy that I'm proud of myself. The first thing you need to do is, number 1, you always have to attend your classes. I don't think this is new, or this is going to be new to any one of you. Attending your classes are very important. I don't really care what anyone's going to say, whether or not your lecturer is reading off presentation slides or you're not really explaining things to you. Attending class is really, really important, because one of the important things of attending your classes is you already have a background idea of what the topic is. So when you go home, you already know what is important and what is not important. And most of the time, lecturers, they tend to highlight things that they really want you to focus on, or high yield information they need from you during lectures. So your lectures are really important, as much as you're going to go back home and study by yourself and still have to write your quizzes or tests. Your lectures are still as important, because then again, you also have the ability to gauge your lecturer, what they value more, what they don't really care about as much, or what they think is not as important information for you to know. So lectures are really important. Go to your classes. Don't miss your classes. I'm begging you guys, don't miss your classes. And I think this is one thing that I should have known early on. But when I was in my first year and second year, I was always not going to class, just for some weird reason. I literally did not just want to go to class. And the funny thing is, whenever I went to class, I did get full grade and full scores on each class I attended or each quiz I went to, right? But I just was not going. And so if, for example, your university is like mine, we get graded every single week, so we have to write quizzes every single week. And so if you're not attending, let's say 5 classes in a semester, and you're getting 3 points per quiz you write, that is, I don't even know how to calculate that mathematics for you, but you already, majority of your mark is already gone, because you have limited amount of time for you to be able to gather enough points to be able to get an A. And in my university, to get an A, you have to get 91/100, which is very, very difficult. But if you go to your class regularly and attend all your lectures and your quizzes and your seminars, you actually will have a higher possibility of getting an A, because you're always present in class. Number 2, back to my point of also attending your classes, also having enough time to figure out who your lecturer is, or what the lecturer is, or how they are about when it comes to grading, when it comes to questions, and when it comes to how they try to assess students. I think most lecturers, they're not the same. Everyone has different things, and what the method of techniques, when it comes to, everyone has different things and different method of techniques when it comes to teaching, and how they test you for knowledge as well. So if you're not going to your classes, you're not going to know, you're not going to have enough time early on to be able to assess your lecturer, or who this person is and how to go about that. So I think going to your class, try to also be nice to your lecturers. A lot of them, they're not that bad. They're just really, they might be obviously stuck up because boundaries, they don't know you don't know them. So having to build a kind of rapport with your lecturer also would be able to help you as well, because you then know what they need from you and what they require of you when it comes to what knowledge you're supposed to have, and how they expect you to be able to explain certain situations or certain topics to them when you're being asked a question. And number 3, I would say, is to have a very good study technique. I think I mentioned this in a few videos ago. When it comes to study technique, there are different study techniques, but I think the one that really works well for most students is active recall. And how I practice this is, first of all, I know what materials I'm supposed to study. Say I have a bunch of topic I'm supposed to study. First thing I'll go is go on YouTube, search up that topic, watch a few videos on the topic. I'm not at this point in time, I'm actually not studying. I'm just trying to have idea of what is this and what this is about, what I need to know about this, what are much more important information from the videos I'm watching, just gathering information all around. And then I go to my, say, textbook or materials I have that I need to, I'll just skim through the materials. Just skim through it. Okay, this, that. I'm still not actually studying at this point in time. And then I leave that, and I come back maybe after an hour or 2 hours, and then I come back to actually studying. I study for every single thing, and then you help yourself by writing down questions or asking yourself questions of what you know and what you don't know. And so being able to point out, okay, I fully understand this concept, I understand the definition 100%, I understand the causes of this 100%. And then maybe you're not so good when it comes to signs and symptoms, or maybe when it comes to medication or treatment you're supposed to administer to said patients, or pertaining to the topic or the disease you're studying about. So you're going to focus more on your weaker areas compared to areas that you're already fully aware of. When they wake you up in the middle of the night and they ask you a question about it, you can answer. So I think that really helps a lot, knowing where your weak points are and focusing on that, simultaneously also testing your knowledge more on areas you're already 100% sure about. And one other technique I normally use is the Pomodoro technique, which is where you study for 25 minutes, intense studying for 25 minutes, you rest for 5 minutes, study for 25 minutes, rest for 5 minutes, 25 minutes, and then you have a long break of 15 minutes. I think that really helps a lot, because within that short period of 25 minutes, you're actually focused on what is in front of you. No distractions, your phone should be turned off, away from you. You should have your notifications, everything turned up, and then you're focused on that. And within that 5 minutes, you can stand up from your seat, take water, do whatever you want to do in that 5 minutes time frame. The fourth tip I would suggest to you is to ask questions. Always have a question to ask, because genuinely a lot of you might feel most people are always scared to ask questions, thinking maybe their question is stupid, or the lecturer would not want to answer that question and things like that. But trust me 100% when I say your lecturers love when you ask questions. They genuinely want you to ask questions, because to them is you're actually learning, and you're actually paying attention to the class or to the lecture or to whatever it is they're telling you or they've been teaching you. So they really appreciate when you're able to ask questions. And a little pro tip is when you're always asking questions, a lot of times lecturers wouldn't tend to ask you question a lot because they already have an idea, or they know that okay, you're one person that is very inquisitive, you have a curious mind, you're always wanting to learn. So they might never really direct their questions to you because they would think that you have, you know, loads of knowledge and you're always learning and you always wanting to learn. This does not work for all lecturers. It works for some, and yes, this is my tried and true. Hey, this is my tried and true tested method. I've done this before and it's worked for some lecturers. For some of them, not really. They don't really care if you're asking them questions. They still and will still ask you so many questions, and they will bombard you with those questions. But always ask questions. And I'm not saying ask stupid questions. There are some questions that you should already know. They are basic questions. As a medical student, you should know the normal heart rate, normal respiratory rate, or say, you know, upper body, or say or let's say anatomical position of the body. You don't be asking your lecturer what does supine position look like, what does anterior lateral, all those medial, what does all those things look like, anterior posterior lateral, anterior this, or posterior whatever. You should know those things. There are so many basic things you should know. Or you're asking them 4 chambers of the heart. Like, please, even someone working on the streets would know and would be able to answer what are the 4 chambers of the heart. So I'm not saying ask stupid questions. For example, if you're teaching something about mechanism of something or the way something works, and maybe there's something about that you don't really understand, or sometimes depending on what year in medical school you are, what semester you're doing, a lot of lecturers do not necessarily like to go in depth about a topic because you've not gone to that stage yet, and medical school is stage by stage or step by step. And so if there's something that you're not sure of, you can ask your lecturer a question about that mechanism which they're explaining, and they would actually answer you, you know, because to them is you're actually paying attention to class, you're focused, and you're actually interested in what it is they are telling you. So please ask questions. Never be too scared to be the one that always asks questions. Like, I know some people might find it annoying, your classmates might find it annoying, but who cares? You're the one learning, you're the one that wants to know more. So always ask your lecturer questions. They're always willing and wanting to help you. And also, if you're also struggling in any way, they would actually give you advice on how to study better, what worked for them when they were in medical school, what they use, and you know how they went about their studying and study process. Most lecturers are always willing to want to help you to make your life easier because they're doctors right now, but before they were doctors, they were also medical students, so they know how difficult it was for them when they were in medical school or how hard it is. And so there are so many things they know now as doctors that they would have done better while they were in medical school. So if you ask them for advice, they're actually going to help you a lot, and they're actually going to want to make your life easier. So ask questions. And this is not for someone that does not go to class, or someone that's not nice to their lecturers, or someone that don't really give a shit about their class or their grades. These are for people that you're actually there. The lecturer recognizes your face, they know your name. I mean, most lecturers they know the name of their students, but I'm just saying, if you're someone that's not serious and you've shown your lecturer you're not a serious student, trust me, they will not take you seriously. So you also have to want to be interested for them to also show their interest in you. It's a vice versa. It's a reciprocal process. It doesn't work just one way, you know, because in as much as they would want to help you learn and study, you can take a horse to the river, you cannot force the horse to drink water. So there's not so much you can do if you yourself you're not willing to be interested or show interest in the class. Last thing I would suggest is to do what works for you and ignore the noise. And this will help you so much. Know what works for you and ignore the noise. Don't listen to any single thing. You just have to figure out yourself and actually stick to methods and study methods that work for you. For example, if you're someone that studies better at night or morning time, say you study maybe better using videos or just reading your textbook, or maybe getting materials from online, or using personal online website like medical website like Bootcamp, for example, to study, that works for you, fine, do just that. Just stick to what works for you. If you're someone that will do better with studying when you write your notes, do that. Some people study better with flashcards. So if you're able to figure out what works for you and how to study effectively, it helps a lot. A lot of the time people will say I've studied for 12 hours, but in those 12 hours you didn't even study that much. You were just wasting time because you were not studying effectively. So find an effective study method. Not just study hard, but also study not just study hard, but also study smart as well, because you also, in as much as you want to learn, you're eager to learn, you don't have so much time and there's so much materials, so you have to squeeze in the amount of information you have to cram into your brain with just little time. So you need to find an effective study method that works for you and is personable to you. So don't do what person A says or person B or D says. Figure out what works for you and stick to that. Another thing I would suggest is, I know I did say five things. This is bonus, just because I love you guys. This is a bonus tip. The bonus tip I'm saying is set a goal from the first day of class, or even before the semester begins. Set a goal for what you want to achieve. Personally, I'm a very goal-oriented person. When the semester started, I said, you know what? Today is my first rotation of obstetrics. From today, I went to my classmates. If she's gonna watch this video, she can testify to it. Her name is Busola. I was like, Busola, from today henceforth, I want to get all A's this semester. I don't want to have even single B in my record this semester. And I told her, and I think last week we were discussing about our grades, and she was like, oh my god, Shiloh, you actually did what you said you were going to do. And I was like, I kept my word. I kept my word to myself. And so if you're someone that's like me, that's also very goal oriented, set those goals before the semester begins. It's not when you're mid-semester and then you're trying to hustle for marks. Oh my god, I didn't do this, you're trying to rectify things you should have done before, things you should have known before, because now you're in the middle of the semester, there's so much going on, you're already getting tired of school, you're already getting burnt out. So having to now say, okay, you know what, let me get on the academic grind can get difficult. So if you already know what it is you want to do before you start the semester, you can basically solve 90% of your problems, because then you prioritize. If you say, this is what I want to achieve this semester, you prioritize going to class every single day, you prioritize studying, you prioritize, you know, being on your A game, you prioritize being proactive and waking up early and doing things that matters to you and things that is going to help you achieve those goals. And also make realistic goals. If you're someone that, you know, you're a lazy person, make goals that are realistic to you. You know, except you're deciding to change overnight and become much more hardworking, then whatever goals you set for yourself, you become realistic to you and personable to you. But yeah, and I didn't even introduce this guy to you. How rude of me. This is Theodore. He's my one and only love and my heart. Yeah, see you guys on next week's video, and don't forget to comment on this video as well, like this video, share to your friends and family, subscribe, and love you guys. See you guys in the next week's video. Bye.